Come on, guys. Okay, let's first get started with the hand raise education. So, Steve, now everybody raise your hands. Put your hand up. Everybody. Everybody, put it up. Okay, so this is how we raise our hand, right? Okay. Now, if you are not curious about career opportunities in top tech, take your hand down. If you are curious, keep it up. So you are curious. This is a golden opportunity. This guy on the other end of the meeting, he has that experience. He has gone through all the stages, and he can give you very valuable tips. He has already done it. I know you have a smart mind. I know you are curious. There are some questions. So, next thing I want to ask you. When was the last time you heard a terrible question? Oh man, what kind of a question was that? Seriously? Did he ask that? Like, is he that stupid? When was the last time you remember such kind of incident in your life? Think about it. No, guys, you are smart and the questions are not dumb. I'm sure the question you ask, there are at least a few more people, if not more, who have the same question in their minds. So use the opportunity. Whenever somebody tells you, hey, do you have any questions? If you don't have a question at the moment, think. Don't say, I don't have a question. Okay? So everybody, now think about the question. We don't have the time to get questions from everybody, unfortunately. But we'll get some. So before that, everybody, think of the question now. 15 seconds. Everybody's going to think after that we will start. Perfect. Now can we see the hands with the questions? Put it up. Okay, we have 4. 5. Perfect. Please. Okay.
Okay. Am I audible?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, you can hear me. So my first question would be, like, it's about skill set. It could be the soft skills and the technical skills. What type of skill set that you have built after joining A2SV and before it? What, like, the changes that you got from joining A2SV? That's my first question.
Should I answer that or you?
Yeah.
All right. So in terms of the skills I gained, so before A2SV, I did some full stack development. I didn't do any jobs, but I did just do projects by myself, try to get better. I did some C, where that was my first language. I started with learning with C. And then after I joined A2SV, I think the main things I got from A2SV is discipline really makes a difference. I would say I was quite disciplined, but having done it for a year, being completely dedicated to problem solving for a long period of time, having to do like the contest every week, every day, you need to do at least one problem. Try not to miss 2 days in a row. That type of habits really helped me develop my even more. Second is communication. I would say I was quite okay. I learned to speak my mind most of the time. But what you learn is speaking your mind when trying to solve a problem or trying to explain an issue you're having, let's say either to your head, to your classmates. That is a different way of explaining things. You'd have to be a lot more calm. And the way you explain things really makes a difference when you're trying to, especially let's say you have a solution, you're trying to make somebody who's next to you understand that solution. So having to speak properly and enough, like having provided enough information to like help the other person understand, that is a skill you get through doing it many times. So communication skills, you get problem solving skills. Obviously, I didn't do pretty much any DSA before A2SV. So that's I really developed when I was in A2SV. So the communication, problem solving, those are the main skills I think I gained from A2SV. And also the diligence, I guess, to do. Yeah.
I want to ask you a question. When you are at a Bloomberg at the beginning, can you share the challenges that you face when you go there and how you overcome those challenges? That was my question.
Okay. So the main thing is it's culture shock. I've never been outside Ethiopia. Forget it, outside Addis. So it was a completely new culture. I was not used to it at all. So that was something definitely I have to get accustomed to. Obviously, that came through exposure to get accustomed to the culture. Second, it's a completely new environment. As I said, I didn't take that much time to like get to know the country. Forget it, the city. So when I started on my first day, it was basically my second day in the city. So I kind of just went to the gates of the company and I was like, "Hey, I'm new here. Can you please help?" And the guy kind of guided me to where I'm supposed to be. So I wasn't shy to ask any questions, even after I joined. So the first day was orientation. I got to learn a little bit about the company, how to get around. And then the second day, I basically joined my team and I was supposed to start working. Basically, what I didn't do was being shy from asking questions. So basically, whatever questions I had, I just constantly asked. Whenever my team was around, obviously, I had a mentor assigned to me. So I asked him the most questions. And then even when he was not around or when he was home, what I did was I asked the other seniors in my team. They were thankfully very helpful. So I just kept on asking as many questions. And as I told you, I worked on the C++ backend, and it's not the regular C++. They have their own kind of version. They use their own libraries, that type of stuff. So that was difficult to get accustomed to. I have done C++ before, so that made it easy, but it's completely new. So I just asked questions all the time. I think as Emre says, there is no stupid questions, especially in that setting. You just need to ask as many questions, get to learn, right? I was there to learn. I was an intern. It's not like I'm not doing a full-time job. Even if it is a full-time job, you're supposed to ask questions, learn from your seniors. That's the main goal of you being there, right? Because if you don't ask, you don't get better. Yeah, so that's the main thing I did. And I think A2SV will help you with that because you'll definitely face a lot of problems, lead code problems, code force problems that you will not easily understand. And having to ask these questions to your heads, having to ask them many times is a habit you need to build. Yeah, I hope that answered the question.
Do you think Ms. Afan? Next question.
I'm Asaf. I was wondering, from other applicants, what things that help you to stand out from other applicants? Like you have answered the characteristics part. Like let's just say we checked that. Is there other things to consider?
Yeah, that's kind of what I was trying to do for G5 when I was a coordinator. Actually, try to give them what usually sets you apart is if you've done any job application, it's your resume makes the biggest difference when you first apply, right? That's the first thing the recruiter sees. And if you want to get called for an interview, you want to have a CV that a person would look at and say, okay, this person has potential. So I would say working on your CV is very important. Second is I think I've been told by a lot of people that I have pretty good communication skills. I speak my mind, and I'm not shy to ask questions. So during my interviews, I was very talkative. I think I spent from the interview, from the whole time, I think 75% of it was just me talking, and some of it, and the other parts was me asking the recruiter questions and his answers, I guess. So I speak a lot. I try to communicate whatever I have on my mind, and that really helps during an interview, especially because the interviewer wants to know how you approach a problem. Let's say if it's a technical like interview. So that's what you're trying to show to these people. So build that habit now of speaking your mind and communicating, just with, especially with your classmates. Uh, Interviews are in English, so I would strongly suggest you try to use English during A2SV, and if you can, outside of A2SV as well. I know it's probably like not as common to do so, but I would say it really helps you because you get comfortable with the language. And once you get comfortable, it's easier to speak your mind because it's a language you're comfortable with. The same way I'm 100% sure you're a lot more comfortable speaking to me or asking me questions in Amharic than you are in English. That's probably why a lot of people shy away from asking questions if it's like in any other language. So get that comfort and try to practice it as much as you can. So communication and I think resumes probably the things that set me apart. Everything else, the problem solving, you learn it. Everybody learns it the same. Basically, by the end of the year, everybody gets comfortable enough that interview questions are not that difficult. So it's the communication part that makes a difference. That's it.
The third question, fourth question.
Hello, myself. My name is Johannes, and the thing I'm going to ask you is, what are the three things you've done at your stage at A2SV, and you wish you have done better? And what are the three things that you think you've done well when you stayed at A2SV? Thank you.
Okay, thank you. The three things I think I should improve. So I think the first thing is, I think at the start, it took a while for me to get more comfortable and working with other people to solve problems. At first, I was trying to just do things by myself, and that kind of slowed me down. Mainly because if you try to solve problems all by yourself, you get stuck in a loop or you plateau at some point. And having people who have already addressed the problem or like asking your heads who obviously know the solution, just having that communication down earlier would have been better for me. I mean, thankfully, I did well for the rest of the year, and I was actually A2S fan of the year for ASTU, for G4 at least. So I thankfully I did improve on that back then, but at the start, it would have been better if I kind of did a bit more, asking questions and having to communicate. The second thing is, I think I should have started working on my resume a bit earlier because I got way too many rejections. I think if I check my email, I probably have like 100+ rejections. I did apply for a lot. But rejections are part of the process. You should learn to get rejected because obviously you're not going to fit every company. And you need to get that in mind. A lot of people get very demotivated because they get rejected. And I was like, okay, if I get rejected by this company, why is this other company not going to accept me? But that's not how it works. Most companies have very different goals, very different, things they're looking for. So getting one rejection does not mean every other company would reject you. So that did help. I did, so I'll get to the good things I did later, but yeah, maybe start working on my resume a bit earlier. And last thing is, I should have done some more swimming during the trips. I did not do any swimming. I just went and stood there like a lemon, which was not that nice. I think it would have been more. I would have had more fun if I did more activities during the trips for A2SV. And that was the three things I think I could have done better. In terms of the things I think I did really well, I was consistent that year. I did surprisingly well, even for myself. And having been named the A2S Fan of the Year, I think I'm very glad I managed to do that. Second thing is I did start applying early, which helped me get over my fear of rejection for companies, obviously, because once you get like once you see like 5, 6 rejections, like having one more really doesn't make a difference. So having built that up, I think I did really well. And lastly, I think I did really well with my communication. I improved a lot. I got to work on my stage fright. I'm not afraid to talk to new people anymore. So yeah, all that I think I did pretty well.
Okay. My name is Abinazar, and my question for you is that mainly focuses on what will be waiting for us once we land the internship. And most of us came from different backgrounds, different departments, and maybe some of us are familiar with tech fields, maybe some of us not. And let's say we are good at data structure and algorithm, as well as communication skills. And let's say we landed the internships at some of the top tech companies. And here is my problem. Once we get there, once we land the internship, should we know development things, development related fields, or is there any learning boot camps or related to that, or is there anything we should learn here before we get there?
Okay.
Regarding
That's a pretty good
development,
question.
I mean,
Yeah, I understand. Okay, so in terms of development, it's good. It's important to have prior experience, which is why A2SV even has a project phase. You will have experience through A2SV even if you don't have it prior, like by yourself. So you get exposed to development that way. But I do suggest if you have time, if you can manage it along with A2SV and your classes and stuff, having exposure to development will make your onboarding when you join these big companies a lot easier. Most of the time, these companies match you with projects that fit your experience. So let's say if you have like a lot of experience, you'd get put on, let's say, something a bit more complex. Let's say something like Anania, where he was in like managing clusters in Kubernetes, which is like some distributed logic, which is a bit complex, or like something I did, which is the full stack with C++ backend. I did some role-based permissioning to an existing system. So these type of projects, they give you projects that fit your experience. So if you land an internship, it's very likely that the company knows your experience and they match you with a project that fits your background. But having said that, you do need exposure to development because you're joining a company, you learn on the job. So if you completely know nothing about development, it will be very bad for you, which is, I think, amazing that A2SV provides their project phase. But try to add some more experience by yourself, since a little more experience never really hurt anybody, right? So, yeah. But most companies do have some form of, adjustment period they'll give you to like get used to let's say, the framework, the languages they use. But development is similar. So having that experience is good.
Thank you, Ms. Afra. Thank you for your experience. I think I finished asking a question. So thank you for your time and experience. And
Thank you.
okay, everyone, let's continue. So that was great experience. That's Mustafa shared us. I hope all of us can understand and participate in our learning while we solve problems, while we apply top tech companies. So that's it. And next we have some other thing. I mean, in our first year education, during our learning, we do not only focus on education. Sometimes we have fun. So during those times, we have different social activities for you based on your energy. So let's try to take a look at it from our previous experiences. So if you are a basketball fan, in that case, since we have a Saturday basket, you can play basket on Saturday. As you see, our members are playing basket, and here is someone who is playing basket. So he is here with us. And also, if you have seen this guy before, he was our head of education here last year. But for this round, he is not going to join us. So yeah, we are going to have basketball on Saturday. Then, if you are also football fan, then consider that if you are going to have Sunday footballs for you too. And based on your preference, if you are chess fans too, we have chess, and also we have some other activities like domino. We have the artists, and also some other communication games like wolves and I don't know the name generally. Huh? What was it? Uh-huh. Yeah, innocent citizen. There are different versions of characters, but we'll sit together during the time. And also, since most of the time on campus, on the first campus, second campus, since we most of the time take much time on doing problem solving and problem solving. So at the end of the campus, sometimes we are going to have trips. So we can enjoy it during the times. So this is some of the things that we have at our first year education program. So now is the time to meet new head of education for our first year education. So they are the heads. So as you know, here in Adama we have two groups, G68 and G69. So we have each groups have their own heads. So first, I'd like to call this up. By the way, he is head of education. Head of education for G68. And the next person, Ignacio Tayo. And for G69, we have Muhammad Ali.
Are we not going to hear a few words from G68?
Yes, we can hear, but I just
Let's do it together?
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll try to see them all together. So the next person will be Mr. Razak. Tamrat Kabade. Salam Lakundino. Brady. Where is Brady? So those are our heads of education for our first year education program. So for all of you, I'm going to give you some moment of embarrassment, and I'm going to ask you to introduce yourself and say something to your students. I'll start with, yes, so I'll start with Toby.
Thank you very much, Pankara. For those of you who don't know me,
My name is Morosan, and I'm the lead of education here at Adama. I was part of G3. I was a student of Generation 3, and then I was able to be the head of education intern of G4, Generation 4. And then I got the chance to lead the education efforts here at Adama for the fifth generation. So yeah, that's me. Let me tell you something. So first, when I was considering coming to Adama, I was like G5 head for AIT students. I was not sure, to be honest. I had a lot of concerns. Guru can can testify to that. I have lots of questions because it's a new branch that we were opening at Adama, right? And I was not sure if it's going to work out. I had a lot of questions. I was not sure the status of the students, how good they are at competitive programming, how consistent they're going to be. I was not sure, basically. Totally, I had lots of questions. But then I came to Adama, and then I met the you've heard of education, but then students, and then they surprised me a lot. Like they were performing really well. They were so consistent. I remember for the Python track, for the other schools we had only three. We had 3 weeks for the Python track, but then for Adama we have to compress it down to just 2 weeks. And then our students, we were also behind by 3 weeks, and I was not sure if we were ever going to catch up, to be honest, at the time. But then, just after 2 weeks, we were able to finish all the topics that were in the Python track. The students were, I would say, almost more than 90 completion for the cases that we have in the Python track. And we were able to catch up to the other school within 3 weeks, I believe. And that was they made the work a lot easier for me, for us. And I'm really proud of the students that we have here at Adama. And for you guys, I know the recruitment process that you guys went through, it was tough. The difficulty of the questions get tougher and tougher by the generation because we have lots of candidates and it's difficult to take all of them, so we have to make the questions tougher. And for that reason, we know the process that you guys went through, and that's going to be a testament for your ability. So we don't have any question with regards to your ability. All we ask is for you to be willing to learn, to be consistent, and also to make this education year a success. So the heads are ready. We just hope you guys are also ready to move forward to this education year. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Jonathan. And next, I would like to give to Jonas. You give the next one.
Okay. Hello guys, my name is Jonas Dayo, and I joined ATSV as a G5 student. I'm currently studying computer science and engineering. I'm 4 years old. And I know most of you guys, and you know, we are almost friends with you guys, and I know you that you are really hardworking and clever, and in the next 1 year, I hope we will have a good time, and I'm really excited to join.
Thank you. My name is Fahmi Safa, and I was part of G5. I was part of G5 last year in Adama, and now I will be your head of education. And yeah, and what I want to share with you is, like, I want you to be to take this opportunity seriously, and like, if you do that, then at the end of the year, like, you will be really grateful, and you will learn several skills like time management, communication, and teamwork, and also in addition to that, the main thing, like, you will be good in data structures and in problem solving, and don't hesitate to ask us. Like, feel free, and I hope you have a great time, and thank you.
Hello guys. First and foremost, I want to say congratulations for joining A2SV for science education. And you guys have made a remarkable achievement. Give yourself a round of applause. My name is Betty, and I am a community coordinator, and I will be working with you closely throughout the session to ensure that you guys have the best experience possible. So, and we are here to equip you with the technical and soft skills that will make you an outstanding software engineer in this competitive tech environment. So, and here at A2SV, we value your consistency, growth, and dedication. So, we make sure that you guys are on the track and making steady progress throughout the program. So, and we are excited to have you all. Thank you.
Mohammed, you read the next person.
Okay, hello guys, I'm Mohammed Ali. I am currently studying Masters in Data Science. There about myself at A2SV. So I was a part of A2SV last year. I was a G59 student. Currently I'm going to be a peer 8, so mostly I'm going to be head of G69. Even though, like, you can ask me always if you have 68. So like mostly we're going to cover technical topics, but also we're going to focus on soft topics as well. So yeah, that's it. Congratulations for being.
Hello everyone, my name is Nefis. I was G5 elementary student. I was graduating last year from here. For the next 1 year, I'm going to be the head of education. What I want to say is, this is a big opportunity. Just try to use it well. Thank you.
Hi Tim, how you doing? My name is Tamrat, and I'm from like a year ago. I was part of ATC, Generation 5, and now I'm going to be you guys here, and we are going to have a lot of things together. We are going to give you like things that we have already appeared when we were passing through ATC, and at any time, if you have any question, you guys can raise at anywhere, any place, even outside. So, thanks so much.
My name is and I was part of A2SV during my time on Shakespeare. I've got about 6 years. I've been used a lot, both in my technical and communication skills. And it will help you guys a lot if you guys take this seriously. And now I'll be joining you guys as A2SV in-person coordinator, and I hope we will have a great day. Thank you.
Thank you, Tim. Thank you for your speech and also for the introduction. So, those are the heads that are going to lead you through the way when you have some struggle in your journey. So, as they said to you, they are free and they want you to ask them. So, use it wisely and also try to communicate effectively with them. And since some of them were here, you guys already know them. So just try to have a friendly connection with them and try to have a successful journey in learning path. So thank you, team, and you can get back to your seat. Okay, so next we are going to see since this is A2SV, we have some guidelines and agreements. So I'll give you a quick introduction to those guidelines and agreements. So the first one will be code of conduct. So this code of conduct explains the roles and the responsibilities you have during your first week education program, so that you can have a successful learning journey during your stay at A2SV. So uh, this document contains best practices for you to be successful in your journey too. So this is a document that we are going to review, sign, and also upload it to us. So we are going to share you after a time. So that's guideline documents. So you can take a look at it by yourself. So the next one will be ISTA, or income sharing agreement. So as you know, it is a non-profit organization. So being a non-profit organization, ATSB runs its operation using funds from top tech companies. So since we have such thing, today you guys are going to look over these documents, and also when you finish your education, since ATSB is providing an education for you. So at the end, if you get a chance at the tech companies, then you will have you are going to give some for ATSB. So this is the document explaining all of the things in it. So for these two, you can take a look at it. You have to review, and also you have to sign and upload to us, just like the code of conduct. So they are going to be shared to you on Telegrams, or maybe you can look at this QR code that he's going to share. So for those documents, you guys have to review it now, I think, right? You are going to review it now, and you have to sign the documents, those documents. Then you have to submit it using this submission form. Yeah. So this is it. So if you have any questions, it's a time to raise it to us so that we can answer it to you. So feel free to ask any question. I think you guys don't have any question, and you don't want to know anything, and you are just expecting blindly. Don't you want to know the way that you are doing, or don't you want anything through your learning? Or are you guys the solution? Thank you for your question, Jafar. So for the first question, yes, it's possible to ask any kids. All of those is needing to answer your question. So you can ask any kids if you have any question in mind. And also, as I said to you, we have two groups if we want more connection with them. We have G50, G68 and G69 aids. So you can be more connected to your respective groups if you wanted to. And also we have another strategy. We have a mentoring session, and also the place where we have one-on-one with our students. So you will be assigned the one head, and that head is going to track your progress, is going to talk all through the way. So you can ask him about anything. You can discuss about your personal things, on your progress, or any other things that you are having difficulty with. So through that way, you can have a plan and you can be transparent with him so that he can or she can follow you. So in this way, you can have a mentor that will come. So in those ways, in those two ways, you can communicate with him. I hope I answered the first question. So for the second question, yes, since we are going to provide an internet after a time, we want to insert many phone numbers, whether Safari or Ethio Telecom. So, okay. Okay, now, we should ask you. What would you like? So, this is the only question. Have you guys applied for any question already? Is that sentence? Yeah, so in A2SV, as you have seen, we have a project phase in the A2SV. You get a better environment to have an internship because you are going to learn something and you are going to learn some stuff, tech stuff, and then after that you are going to have an experience in that tech stuff you are learning. So I think any other companies couldn't provide this much internship, and we are doing it all day, and it's great. And we are also going to have a project during that project phase. So considering this, last year too, we have accepted students internship paper, and they are doing an internship with Madam. So for the internships, we have an internship and submit the document to us, and you can internship. I hope that answers your question. Okay. On that. So the first one, there are two good forms, I think. The first one will be COC, code of conduct. It includes your code of conduct and also you can show documents. So you can open them and you can get the two documents in the description. Then after we review it and sign it, you have to submit the documents for us. And you can do it. And also for the second one, it's onboarding link, and that is the link. I think they put it behind, but the link is it is Google form to take all of your information regarding. And since we are going to have an education, we want your information for different purposes to provide you service. So to that we are going to submit all of the information in the second thing. Like that.
So for that case, we have shared spreadsheets. You can find it in the announcement topic, like from the Telegram. Like for the first two forms, I have pinned the visit. You can find simply by clicking that link. And you know, from which group you are, there is spreadsheets as to those like those two links. So you can find your information there.
You have been assigned to different groups, G69 or 68. So you can take a look at and choose.
For more information, let me share my screen and then show you some of the things. So yeah, for the first two forms, you can simply go to like the history group that we have invited you already. So there is an announcement topic, right? So you can select the music, and it's going to take you to the receipt that contains the two forms. The first form is filling out your information. And you need to fill your information. So for to which group you are belong, you can find the information here, like the next message. So in your feed, you can see like different tabs, G60, 61, 62. So you guys have to check the last two tabs, G68 or G69. Like if your name's found on G68, it means your class is going to be G68. And if your name's found here, you're going to be G69. So you can find the information here, and you can fill every information that's required. So make sure to fill the most updated information about yourself, including your resumes and other stuffs. Yeah, you also ask bank account. In the future, we might provide some stipends, so make sure to fill these things. And the other form is about the income sharing agreement. So yeah, you can go ahead and read the requirements, and you can find like the document. You have to click like the links that are provided here, and make sure to make a copy. Like you can go to the file section and you can make a copy, and you are going to update like every detailed information that's related with yourself, like including your names and other stuff. And we have also provided an extension to sign digitally. Like you don't have to print out the documents; you can digitally sign up. So there is an extension that we have attached, so you can install that extension and you can sign it. And after you finish that one, you're going to convert it into PDF format, and you will upload those PDFs to this Google form. And at the end, you can submit. So these are the two things that we require from your side. Maybe any questions? It's not clear. All right, now we will assist you. So,
Yeah, they're going to fill it now.
yeah.
So that's it for the documents. So you can take a look at them, and after reviewing, you have to submit it today. Yeah. So, is there any other question? You want to ask? Do you have any question? Yeah. Related to BC.
Okay, it's just a stupid question because I didn't hear you at the first. When will we start the session? Is it today or tomorrow? And the time?
Session. We are going to learn till 6 p.m. today local time, and then you are going to go to your sleep. I'm just kidding. So today we are just going to have an opening, and also you have to just fill the documents. Then tomorrow in the morning we are going to start the campus. I mean, the session starts tomorrow at 9 p.m. That means 3 local time. Yeah. What was the class location? Do you guys know the A2SV labs? A2SV labs, where we are going to have that sessions. So you should have to ask those questions, right? You say you don't have questions, but there are many questions that you are not aware. So our labs, we are going to have a class at 5:10 at room 1 and 2. So if you are G68, you are going to have it at room 1, and G69 at room 2. There are larger labs there. So that's a place where we conduct our session. Other question? That's one. I'm going to ask you a question. So at what time are we going to start our session tomorrow, and at what time are we going to end our session?
So we are going to have camp, right? Full day program. So most of the time we are going to start the sessions early in the morning around 9 a.m. So like moving forward, when we tell you the times, you are going to consider the East African time, okay? So not to make confused, which means like 3 o'clock in the morning, local time, and we are going to
Time. Learning costs energy. It requires dedication. It requires efforts. So always be focused. Use your time wisely, because I know most of you are continuing students and you also have school dedication. So you have to use your time wisely and give it your all. Don't have any regrets by the end of the year, because for me, and as I've heard in ASTU, for some people, the year that we spent with A2SV education is the best year of our life. That's because we put in the work and we have seen the results at the end. So if you want to make this year the best year of your life, that's what's going to be expected. All right? Okay. And Marcel is going to give us the conclusive remark, but there are a few things that I want to cover. So I have said several times that we're family. This is a tribe. This is a big family. So always remember, we are on the same ship. A2SV is a big ship that is carrying us all. And if this ship is going to sail straight, is going to go to the destination that we want, we all are going to thrive. And if this ship is going to sink on the way, everybody's going to get hurt. So always keep that in mind. And for all of your actions, for all of the things that you do as a team member, you don't have to have heads or people to tell you whether that thing is correct or not. There is a very simple way to actually identify if that thing is something that you have to do or not. That simple way is consider everybody. All 270 students are doing what you're doing. For example, you are solving problems every day. And what happens if everybody, like all students, are doing the same? Everybody's going to thrive, right? And on the other side, let's say you're coming late for sessions, 30 minutes late, something like that. What happens if all 270 students are doing that? Let's say you are missing classes every other day. What happens if all the students are doing that? Are we going to have A2SV education? Obviously not. So always judge your actions by just multiplying it by everyone. What happens if everybody is doing the same thing? So always remember, we are on the same ship, and you are responsible to some extent to keep this ship going. Next step. Don't fail 2 days in a row. This is very important. This is about consistency, building that moment. So let's maybe have a single problem.
let's say you're doing something every other day, meaning you're not going to miss two days consistently. So there is no two, let's say, red spots on your consistency. So what's going to be your, let's say, your minimum percentage of consistency? If you are doing at least every other day, if you are solving problem at least every other day, what's going to be the minimum? Worst case scenario. Louder? 50%, right? If you at least become consistent every other day, that's going to be 50%. And that is, actually our minimum is at 5%, don't get me wrong. But you should never miss in a row. 2 days in a row, there is a high chance that you're going to miss the third day. And this is actually factual. So always remember, if you want to achieve something, you have to do it multiple times. You have to do it consistently. And to keep your consistency, you should never miss 2 days in a row. The third point, which I would say is very crucial to your success to be professionals. Of course, currently you are Ethiopian citizens, right? But you shouldn't limit yourself to this country or your achievements to this country. You have to think globally. You have the potential to create impact globally. So learn to speak a very beautiful, good English. Learn to be articulate so you could communicate with the entire world. And as your heads mentioned, A2SV is the perfect place to learn that because our CEO doesn't speak Amharic. So, I mean, you don't have a choice. Unless you're hiding something from him. So, learn to speak a very good English with your teammates. Try to communicate as much as you can with your heads. And through this process, you will both increase your technical skills plus your communication skills, which are going to be multiplied when you apply or when you are looking for any opportunity, like in your professional career outside. With this, these are the most important points that I want to cover. After this, it's going to be our cut of the day. But before revealing that, I would like to invite Emre to the stage so we could hear a few words from him as well.
Thank you very much, Biruk. So team, this is our third kickoff today. And this is not even our last kickoff. Do you have any guesses like which kickoff may be happening after this one? Where else A2SV education is going on? Any guesses? Yes, our new members. And did you do any research in what countries A2SV education is operating? Yes, Ghana education is going to kick off at 9:30 p.m. East Africa time. Because they are going through the normal education now. Their school is not in the finals or during the break. In that regard, we are not able to kick off there with the camp. So you guys are going to do something very interesting, which we haven't done before, starting this with the camp. But then it's going to start with short, normal education season. So it's happening in their evening hours. And there are 3 hours of a time difference between Ethiopia and Ghana. So East Coast, West Coast, right, for Africa. So in that regard, it's really, very interesting moment for me to experience all these kickoffs happening on the same day. And you should also keep in mind, remote education had the kickoff on Monday. Look how many different branches are there, how many great people are supporting each other to become better technologists and make a positive impact for this continent. So team, I want to remind all of you guys, this is a very beautiful opportunity 5 generations of people have gone through this system, and they have made their contributions, and the system got better and better. Biruk, so far in the history, did we have any A2SV generation that didn't exceed the bar that was set by the previous generation before?
So far, we have actually seen significant decrease compared to.
So imagine what you are learning now is a lot better than what has been learned by the previous generations. Take the knowledge, share with your peers, share with your future generations, and always have this continent in your heart. Because you guys are real Africans. Correct me if I'm wrong. I love this continent. At the same time, I'm originally Turkish. It's not part of Africa. So if you don't own it, who is going to own it, Tim? Think about it. So it's great to have dreams, to join big tech, have job opportunities, money, experience. At the same time, if you don't tie your dreams back to this continent, who is going to do that? Because at A2SV, we believe and we see that we are working with the top of the pyramids. It's not easy to get in here. How many different stages you had to go through? First, you got to be in one of the top schools. It's not easy to enter one of the top schools in Ethiopia. Right? You got to be a great student, learn a lot, have a great score from the university entrance exam. And then you got to be great in your first year to become an engineer. And then you got to be a great engineer to become an A2SV. You've already gone through those. But there is always the next level. Whatever has brought you to today, to this level, is not going to take you to the next level. It is always like this. So in that regard, always keep your growth mindset. Good can always be better. And at the beginning, you're not going to be great at anything. The beginner is a beginner. So approach things humbly, but try to get the best out of it. Like when they bring you, let's say, some water, like you may, or like you can put the whole bottle up. So I would recommend drinking A2SV from the bottle, guys. Because I haven't seen any single person so far who has gone through this process and who didn't enjoy, who didn't learn a lot, who didn't find themselves in a lot better position than where they were before. And this is the power of being a team. This is the power of being a community. So in that regard, from the beginning, understand the fact that our biggest asset is each other. A2SV doesn't own buildings, guys. Where do we operate? At our partner universities. A2SV doesn't own laptops. A2SV doesn't own cars. But A2SV is amazing. Like now with the 6th generation, over 1,000 great engineers. And this is such an immense value. Like today, I received a message from Addis Alamayu. Do you guys know him? He is the owner of Kana TV. He also has some technology projects. He's a great figure in Ethiopian tech world. And I just want to read the message out loud. So I received this in the afternoon. Other kickoffs didn't hear this one because this has come on the way to Adama. So he just forwarded the message that is sent to him first. Hey, Addis, how are you? Talk to Ipsa. We'll sync with him more on the weekend. Just heard that my team is adding a new member and she is an Ethiopian from A2SV. Seems like they are satisfied with the one Ethiopian they have. It makes them want to get more. Also, met another Ethiopian yesterday in my building working for AWS. He also joined a month ago and was in A2SV. Good to see representations from the motherland in these tech companies. And then, now it's his message. You are doing amazing. Your kids are doing very good. This is from one of my contacts in Germany. Like, look at this. Somebody in Germany sees the impact of A2SV. Ethiopians are getting big tech jobs and doing great, and they are asking for more. And he tells this as a great news to Addis Alamaya. So imagine, how do you make feel Ethiopian diaspora feel when you do such things at the highest quality? And team, this is just the beginning. I'm telling you, if every generation is putting the bar higher and higher, I'm very excited to see where you guys are going to put the bar for the next generation to exceed it. So see this potential, see this opportunity, and bring your best. If you understand the importance of best practices from an early age, that is going to give you a great edge in your career. Because best practices are best practices for a reason. They are the shortest path to the results that are discovered by the collective know-how and experience of humanity, experts who have dedicated their times for that. There is no shorter way. Oh, we have to finish this early, so we are not going to test it. If you're not going to test it, it means you are going to have more runtime problems, runtime exceptions. If you test it well, there will be less hassle to the user. So when do you want to learn the issues of your code? While you are developing or while it is served to the customers? Oh, we have to finish it fast, so code reviews, we are not going to do them thoroughly. Approved, go, next. He's already a great guy. That's not how you do reviews. The reviews are there to catch if there is an issue that is not addressed. Plus, if there is something that can be done better. When we do reviews at TopTech, at Google, at Palantir, you look at every single line of code and you think, can it be better? After that, you look at the unit. Is there a more efficient way? After that, you look at the calls of other functions. Is there another function which can do this better? Any parameter that can be reduced, any complexity that can be reduced. This is how you do code reviews. And by not practicing those, just because you have some deadlines, this, that, whatever justification you have for yourself, you're not going to get the great end result faster. Okay, so in that regard, I highly recommend hearing your heads really well. If they suggest something, if you don't understand why they are suggesting, ask. This is computer science. This is not a discovery, it is invention. What does that mean? Discovery means something already exists, and then you just discover. Before you know about it, it was already there. Such as America. Before you discover America, was there no America? No, but we didn't know, right? So it's a discovery. So computer science is not a discovery. Computer science is invention. It's built with the human logic. So there is a reason if you ask, you are going to learn. Approach everything you are learning that way. Don't be satisfied with having a gray area, dark area. Ask a question. Ask more questions. Lastly, actually, there are two things I need to say, not lastly. Lastly, about this passage. Do you know how many questions a kid is asking on average? And how many questions an adult above 30-year-old is asking questions on average, like the numbers? Which one do you expect to be a lot higher? The kids are learning a lot faster, but who is asking more questions? Could there be any correlation, guys? I want you to think about it. If you ask more questions, is there a possibility that you may be learning more? Think about it. What do you think, Tesfa? If you ask more questions? Yes. So don't be afraid of asking questions, team. And don't be afraid of making mistakes, because you are going to learn from your mistakes. Be afraid of making mistakes and not learning from them. There is nobody who doesn't do mistakes. Nobody. So be okay, be cool. You are not perfect. I am not perfect. Bisrat, are you perfect, brother? He's great, but he's not perfect. So it's okay. In that regard, like, have that humbleness and accept the fact that it's okay to make mistakes, but learn from them. And lastly, team, at A2SV this year, not this year, but last year, we had gone through some financial challenges, which are actually currently going on. And in that regard, we are taking some measures to make our academy sustainable. So the future generations are going to be sponsored by the earlier generations. And we are going to be doing this through two main channels. Number one, income share agreements. So whenever an A2SBN, after the education, gets an opportunity that is paying them $40,000 or more, then we are going to ask those A2SBNs to contribute to A2SV education for 2 years. And the second, we are going to bring more opportunities from abroad through our talent marketplace, Escalate. And we hope that these measures are going to make our education sustainable, and we will be able to continue training future generations and starting their education on time. But for this year, later, better than never. I'm very happy that A2SV education is going full force and is about to empower many, many young, great technologists like you in Adama Science and Technology University, Addis Ababa Science and Technology University, Addis Ababa University, University of Ghana in person, and through many universities. Now I don't know the university count, frankly, but remote education this year has people from 26 African countries, 230 remote students. With in-person education, our total number is 530. And this is before Rwanda expansion planned for year. So in that regard, I am very happy to see that we continue growing our impact. We continue connecting young African technologists with each other to produce the best of the future tech leaders. So welcome to the ship. Take the best out of this opportunity, and to do that, bring your best here. Whenever you deliver something important, ask yourself, is this your best? If it's not, improve. And without a self-review, you won't be able to understand. Therefore, check the quality. If it passes your filter, then deliver. Thank you very much, team.
Thank you, Emre. Thank you, Emre, for that great speech that you gave us. And I hope all of us can utilize those things in our journey and will bring a better result. So that's it from our side. So this is it, and I would like to say good luck on your first year education. And we have finished our session. So next we are going to have some. Sorry. So in A2SV we have some culture quote of the day. So every time we finish our meetings and also sessions, we are going to have a quote of the day. So who is going to read our today's quote of the day? I'll give a chance to other person, maybe to Jordanus. Can you read for us?
Thank you very much. Says the expert in anything was once a beginner like you guys. It's by Helen Hayes. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. And let's close our session with a moral, and let's clap our hand and let's begin our journey. So for we have snacks and juice outside. Snacks and juices, so you can head out and you can have and you can enjoy.
As well, I'm going to one male and one female candidates so that we can have a 10-second video about how you feel about doing A2SV. So I'm going to need volunteers. If that's not the case, I'm going to select at random. Do I have any volunteers? Oh wow, no eye contact.